Welcome to Bookwaves Audio. You are about to embark on a powerful, life-changing journey toward ultimate self-improvement and language freedom. If you want to support our mission of delivering the finest audio wisdom for personal growth and success, please take a quick moment to subscribe to our channel and like this audio right now. Today, we are proud to present a comprehensive, master-level blueprint designed to transform your mindset, elevate your social presence, and unlock your true global potential. Listen closely, absorb the knowledge deeply, and prepare to elevate your life to the next level as we begin this exclusive presentation. Chapter 1: The Mindset Shift, Crushing the Fear of Making Mistakes. Imagine standing in front of a warm, smiling group of people ready to share a story that you have been thinking about all week. You know exactly what you want to say, the ideas are clear in your mind, and you feel a genuine excitement to connect with them. But the very moment you open your mouth to speak your first sentence, a heavy weight drops in your stomach. Your throat feels dry, your heart begins to race like a runaway train, and your mind goes completely blank. The beautiful English words that were just floating through your head a second ago suddenly vanish into thin air. You stand there in a painful, freezing silence, terrified that you will use the wrong word, mix up the grammar, or pronounce a syllable incorrectly. You are trapped by an invisible monster that haunts millions of language learners every single day, and that monster is the absolute fear of making a mistake. This fear is a heavy iron cage that keeps your true personality hidden away and prevents you from ever showing the world how intelligent, creative, and capable you truly are. But what if the greatest secret to speaking English fluently from day one has nothing to do with memorizing thick grammar books or studying hundreds of rare vocabulary words at a desk? What if the secret is simply changing the way you look at mistakes and shifting your entire relationship with failure? Welcome to this life-changing journey of transformation and language freedom. Before we dive deep into the core psychological shifts and strategies of this chapter, take a quick moment to support this positive space. If you want to unlock your ultimate potential, build your speaking skills day by day, and become the most confident version of yourself, please subscribe to Bookwaves Audio right now and give this video a like so you never miss a new step on your path to greatness. Now, let us begin the deep work of breaking your mental chains and crushing the fear that holds your voice back from the world. To truly understand why we carry such an intense fear of making mistakes, we have to look backward at our childhood and examine how we were trained by the traditional school system. From the very first day you walked into a classroom as a young child, you were taught a dangerous lie. You were trained to believe that mistakes are a sign of weakness, low intelligence, or failure. Think back to the days when you took a math test or a spelling quiz. When the teacher handed your paper back to you, it was often covered in aggressive red ink, marking every single wrong answer with a big, ugly cross.
If you made too many mistakes, you received a lower grade. Your parents might have been disappointed, and you felt a deep sense of shame in front of your friends and peers. This constant repetition over many years creates a powerful negative habit inside your brain, where your mind automatically connects the act of making a mistake with feeling embarrassed, imperfect, or rejected. When you carry this outdated school mindset into your adult life, it acts as a permanent emergency brake on your English-speaking journey. You treat an ordinary, casual conversation with a coworker, a shopkeeper, or a stranger as if it were a high-stakes final exam where you are terrified of getting a bad grade. But real life is not a stressful classroom, and everyday communication is absolutely not a test. In the real world, human language is simply a tool designed to share ideas, build friendships, and pass information from one mind to another. If you can deliver your core message and the other person understands what you mean, you have achieved a total victory, even if your grammar rules were completely broken along the way.
Let us look at a beautiful example from nature that proves how unnatural the fear of mistakes truly is. Think about how a tiny human toddler learns their very first native language. A 1-year-old child does not sit down at a desk with a complex grammar textbook to memorize rules before they start talking to their parents. They do not worry about looking silly, they do not care about accents, and they have absolutely no fear of social judgment.
Instead, they simply live their lives, listening intently to the sounds and words floating around them in their home, and they naturally begin to copy what they hear. A toddler will say words completely wrong, mix up the sentence structure, drop letters, and make funny noises. But nobody punishes them with red ink. Instead, their parents smile, clap, and encourage them to keep trying, because everyone knows that this messy process is the only way a human brain can grow. The child makes thousands of silly mistakes every single week, and those exact mistakes are the precise reasons why they learn to speak their native language with absolute fluency within a few short years. Somewhere along the way, as we grow up into adults, we lose this beautiful, natural ability to learn through trial and error, because our pride gets too big, and we become too scared of what other people might think of us. To speak English confidently from day one, you must give yourself full permission to become a child again in your learning process, realizing that stumbling is the only way your brain can learn how to run. When you study the most successful English speakers who learned it as a second language later in life, you will quickly find that they all share one spectacular character trait. They are not necessarily the people who know the largest number of words, nor are they the ones who have the most flawless accents. They are simply the people who are completely willing to be uncomfortable and messy in public. They understand a fundamental truth that many learners ignore, which is that speaking a new language is a physical, practical skill, much like learning how to ride a bicycle or swim in the deep ocean. You can sit on a comfortable couch for 5 years and read a dozen books about perfect swimming techniques, but the moment you jump into the cold water, you will sink if you do not actively splash around and move your body. You have to swallow a little bit of water, lose your breath, and make awkward movements until your muscles figure out how to float naturally. Speaking English requires the exact same physical and mental trial. Your tongue, mouth, and throat muscles must practice making brand new shapes and unfamiliar sounds that they have never used before. Your brain must practice retrieving words at lightning speed under the natural pressure of human interaction. Every single time you stumble over an English word, use the wrong verb tense, or pause to think, your brain is not failing. It is actually doing heavy engineering work, building new neural pathways and adjusting its systems to become stronger next time. A mistake is not a red mark of shame. It is living, breathing proof that you are actively trying, practicing, and evolving into a better speaker. Now, let us take a moment to pause and reflect on how far you have already come on this personal path of self-improvement. Learning a new language takes immense courage, and the fact that you are listening to this audiobook right now shows that you have a deep hunger to better your life. If you are enjoying these insights and want to keep fueling your mind with the best wisdom for personal growth, take a quick second to subscribe to Bookwaves Audio, hit that like button, and share your thoughts in the comments section below. Your support gives us the energy to create more life-changing content for your daily routine. Let us now jump right back into our discussion on how to reprogram your mind for absolute confidence. To truly eliminate the fear of mistakes once and for all, we must look closely at what actually happens in reality when you make a small error during an English conversation. Most of the time, the terrifying scenarios we build inside our own minds are 10 times larger and more dramatic than what happens in the real world. We imagine that if we say a word wrong, the other person will laugh out loud, judge our level of intelligence, or walk away from us in complete frustration. But the truth is that the vast majority of native English speakers or fluent listeners do not care about your grammar mistakes at all.
When an ordinary person is talking to you, they are listening for the deeper meaning of your words, not analyzing your sentence structures like a strict school teacher. They want to know your unique story, hear your valuable opinion, or get an answer to a practical question. If you use a wrong tense but keep a warm, authentic smile and a relaxed, open posture, people will naturally focus on your positive energy and your message. In fact, most human beings feel a deep respect for anyone who is brave enough to speak a second language, and they will often kindly help you find the right word if they see that you are getting stuck.
The harsh, critical judgment you fear is almost always a ghost coming from your own mind, not from the gentle people standing right in front of you. To crush this mental ghost, you need to deliberately change your internal dialogue and rewrite the questions you ask yourself before you speak. Instead of constantly asking your brain what will happen if you say something wrong, start asking yourself what will happen to your life if you choose to stay completely silent. Every single time you choose silence because of fear, you miss a priceless opportunity to practice your skills. You pass up a beautiful chance to connect with a cool new person, and you close a door that could have advanced your career or personal life. Silence might feel safe and cozy for a few short seconds, but it acts as a quiet poison that keeps you trapped in the exact same place for the rest of your life. On the absolute other hand, choosing to speak up, even with broken sentences and a shaking voice, moves you forward on the map of success. You can choose to look at every single English conversation as a fun, creative playground, rather than a stressful, dangerous battlefield. On a playground, you are there to explore, play with new concepts, and experiment with the sounds you know. If you fall down on the grass, you do not cry and stay there forever. You simply stand right back up, dust off your clothes, smile, and keep playing the game with joy. Another incredibly powerful way to shift your mindset is to completely redefine what the word fluency means to your personal standards. Many language learners fall into a dangerous trap because they believe that fluency is exactly the same thing as perfection. This is a massive myth that will only bring you unhappiness and frustration. True fluency is simply the ability to communicate your thoughts smoothly, comfortably, and effectively, without experiencing long, painful pauses that hurt the conversation. You can be an incredibly fluent speaker while still making dozens of minor grammatical mistakes every single hour. Think about the millions of successful people all over the planet who use English every day for global business, international travel, and deep friendships, even though their English is far from perfect. They are highly successful and respected because they speak with clarity, passion, and strong intent. They never let a missing word or a small grammar error stop them from expressing an important, valuable idea. They always value human connection over technical perfection. When you make connection your ultimate goal, the heavy pressure to sound perfect instantly vanishes into thin air, and speaking English turns into a beautifully enjoyable experience. As you step out into the world today and begin your daily routine, make a deep, personal commitment to embrace the natural discomfort of the learning process. When you enter an English conversation with a friend, a co-worker, or a stranger, do not try to sound like a university professor or a fancy television news anchor. Speak boldly with the exact words that you already possess in your mental toolbox right now. Use short, simple, and clean sentences that get straight to the point. If you suddenly forget a specific vocabulary word mid-sentence, do not panic and do not stop talking. Use your hands to make gestures. Describe the shape or function of the object, or use a much simpler word that means something similar. The most vital thing is to keep the momentum of the conversation moving forward without stopping to criticize your own performance in your head. Every single time you push through the heavy wall of fear and choose to speak up, you are building a powerful mental muscle. The first time you do it, it might feel a bit awkward and strange.
The second time will feel a little bit lighter, and by the 10th time, you will look back and realize that the fear has completely lost its power over your life. You are fully capable of speaking great English, and your unique voice deserves to be heard by the world. Trust your natural learning process, celebrate your tiny daily victories, and always remember that your grand journey to confidence begins the exact moment you decide that your message is far bigger than your fear. Chapter 2. The Power of Listening. How to absorb English naturally. Think about the incredible way a simple kitchen sponge works when you place it gently inside a wide bowl filled with clean, fresh water. The sponge does not struggle. It does not experience any stress, and it does not desperately force itself to change its shape or structure. It simply sits there in perfect stillness, quietly and effortlessly absorbing every single drop of liquid around it until it becomes completely heavy and full. When it comes to the deep journey of speaking English confidently from day one, your human brain needs to act exactly like that quiet sponge. Before you can ever expect a beautiful language to flow smoothly out of your mouth, you must first allow that exact same language to pour generously into your ears for a significant period of time. Many language learners spend 90% of their valuable energy trying to force themselves to speak, without ever realizing that active listening is the actual fuel that drives the entire engine of speech. You can never truly speak a language well if you do not first know how it feels, how it swings, how it rhythmically beats, and how it breathes in the context of real, everyday life. Listening is the hidden, invisible foundation of all human communication. Before we dive into the deep, powerful psychological strategies of natural language absorption, take a brief moment to support our growing global community. If you want to continue filling your mind with the ultimate mental tools for self-improvement, lifestyle design, and language mastery, please subscribe to Bookwaves Audio right now and hit that like button so you can keep your daily learning habit alive and well. Now, let us discover together how to master the magnificent art of natural listening. To understand why listening possesses such a magical power over your fluency, we must first look at how traditional language learning systems totally fail us. In a regular school classroom, young students are almost always forced to read long, dry texts and study silent, cold words written on a flat piece of paper. You look at a vocabulary word, you memorize its unique spelling, and then you immediately translate that word directly into your own native language to understand what it means. The massive problem with this old-fashioned method is that written language is inherently dead, but spoken language is beautifully alive. When you only experience English through reading with your eyes, you never get to hear the actual music of the language. You do not notice how native speakers naturally connect separate words together, where they place their heavy emphasis in a sentence, or how they subtly change their tone of voice to express deep human emotions. When you rely solely on reading textbooks, your brain creates a very stiff, artificial, and awkward version of English inside your mind. Then, when you finally try to speak in public, you sound like a robotic machine reading from an old instructional manual. Active, natural listening completely fixes this problem by teaching your brain the authentic rhythm, cadence, and melody of real English before you even try to form a complex sentence on your tongue. There are two very distinct and important types of listening that you must practice daily to fully unlock your natural fluency. The first type is what experts call passive listening, which is often described as background immersion. This is the simple act of having high-quality English audio playing around your physical space while you are busy doing other routine tasks, such as washing the dirty dishes, walking quietly through the park, or cooking a healthy dinner for your family. During these moments, you are not focusing deeply or intensely on every single word or grammar rule, but your incredible brain is still doing heavy work in the background.
It is constantly absorbing the accent, the unique sounds, the natural pauses, and the fluid flow of the language without you even realizing it. This is exactly how tiny babies learn their very first native language. They hear their parents talking all day long while they are playing with their toys on the living room floor. Even though the young baby does not understand the specific dictionary definitions of the words, their brain is quietly mapping out the entire sound structure of the language. By filling your daily environment with English audio, you create a powerful artificial immersion experience, successfully transforming your ordinary home into an English-speaking country. The second and far more transformative type of practice is active listening, and this is where the real magic of language acquisition takes place. Active listening means giving your total, undivided and passionate attention to an English audio track for a short, dedicated period of time every day. When you practice active listening, you are not just trying to understand the general story or the main plot of a video. Instead, you are acting like a brilliant language detective. You listen to a single sentence and you pay extremely close attention to how the speaker blends one word directly into the next. For instance, you will quickly notice that a native speaker almost never says each word separately with a sharp pause. They do not slowly say, "What are you doing today?" Instead, it sounds like a single smooth wave that rolls off their tongue as, "What you doing today?" You begin to notice how the hard edges of words completely melt together in real-world speech. By paying intense attention to these small, beautiful details, your brain starts to realize that spoken English is an entirely different creature than the written English you find in a school textbook. This sudden awareness changes everything for your learning journey. When you hear how words are truly spoken in real life, your brain stores that correct auditory pattern, making it infinitely easier for you to copy that exact same beautiful rhythm when it is finally your turn to speak up. Now, as we pause for a brief moment in our exploration of sound, let us look at how incredibly well your mind is adapting to this new information. Building a strong habit of self-education is a powerful step toward a better future, and you should be genuinely proud of yourself for taking this time today. If you find these concepts valuable and want to ensure you stay on the right track for continuous personal growth, take a quick moment to subscribe to Bookwaves Audio, like this track, and share it with a friend who is also working hard to improve their life. Your presence here makes our community stronger, and we love creating these detailed guides to help you win. Let us now jump straight back into the deep science of natural language absorption. A very common and frustrating mistake that many language learners make is choosing listening materials that are far too difficult for their current level. If you try to listen to a highly complex political debate, a deep scientific lecture, or a fast-paced Hollywood action movie filled with advanced slang, your brain will quickly become completely exhausted and overwhelmed. When you cannot understand the vast majority of what you are hearing, your mind naturally gets bored, tunes out the noise, and you gain absolutely zero long-term benefit from the experience. To absorb English naturally, you must use what modern linguists call comprehensible input. This simply means you should focus on listening to content where you already naturally understand about 70 to 80% of the words being spoken. The material should be just challenging enough to keep you focused, but easy enough so that you can naturally guess the true meaning of the new words based on the context of the surrounding story. Children's fables, simple self-development audiobooks, daily lifestyle vlogs, and podcasts designed specifically for language learners are absolute goldmines for this stage of growth. When you genuinely enjoy the content you are listening to, your brain releases happy chemicals like dopamine, which makes the entire learning process feel completely effortless, engaging, and fun. You might be wondering exactly how listening to someone else talk for hours can actually improve your own personal speaking confidence. The fascinating answer lies deep within how our human brains are biologically wired from birth. We all possess special brain cells called mirror neurons. These unique neurons fire with energy both when you perform a specific action yourself and when you quietly watch or hear someone else perform that exact same action in front of you. When you sit back and listen to a highly confident, clear English speaker for hours, your mirror neurons are actually practicing the physical act of speaking inside your own head. You are mentally absorbing their unshakable confidence, their relaxed posture, and their unique way of expressing complex human ideas. This is the exact reason why people who move to a brand new country often start speaking with the local accent within a year, without ever taking a formal class. Their brains simply copied the sounds they heard every single day in their neighborhood. By consistently listening to high-quality, confident English audio, you are literally programming your subconscious mind to speak with that exact same high level of social confidence. To get the absolute best and fastest results from your daily listening practice, you must remember that consistency is far more important than intensity. It is vastly better for your brain health to listen to 15 minutes of clear English every single day than to force yourself to listen for 3 heavy hours only once a week. Your brain requires regular daily contact with the new language so that it can recognize it as an important tool for your survival and social connection. Make it a fun daily game to find small, hidden pockets of time throughout your busy schedule. You can easily listen to an inspiring podcast during your morning commute to work, or listen to a simple audiobook chapter right before you close your eyes to fall asleep at night. Do not worry at all if you do not understand every single word or grammar structure at first. The ultimate goal of this phase is not technical perfection. The true goal is deep, comfortable familiarity. Over time, the strange sounds will start to feel incredibly familiar. The fast sentences will naturally seem much slower, and the true meaning of the words will become crystal clear without any painful mental translation. As you move forward with your day-to-day, always remember that becoming a great, powerful speaker requires you to first become a great, patient listener. Be gentle with your ears and give your brain the time it truly needs to absorb the deep structure, the beautiful music, and the true essence of the English language. Trust with all your heart that every single minute you spend listening is a direct, valuable investment in your future speaking confidence. You are slowly but surely filling up your inner reservoir of language, and very soon that reservoir will overflow into beautiful, natural, and effortless speech. Keep listening, keep absorbing, and always trust the incredible, unshakable power of your own beautiful mind. Chapter 3. Thinking in English. Stopping the mental translation trap. Imagine you are sitting across the table from someone at a cozy cafe, having a wonderful conversation, and they suddenly look at you and ask a simple question about your plans for the upcoming weekend. In that exact fraction of a second, a hectic and exhausting multi-step process begins inside your brain. First, you take the English words that you just heard and you laboriously translate them word by word into your native language so that your mind can fully understand their actual meaning. Next, you think of a brilliant, interesting response, but you formulate that entire response using the words and grammar structures of your native language. Then you begin the slow, stressful, and painful work of translating that response back into English, word by word, while desperately trying to remember all the complicated tense rules you learned in school. By the time you are finally ready to open your mouth to speak, a long, awkward, and uncomfortable silence has passed, and the natural moment for connection has completely vanished. This is the mental translation trap, and it is the single greatest reason why so many hard-working English learners feel slow, hesitant, and unconfident whenever they try to speak in public. To achieve true, effortless fluency, you must completely cut out this unnecessary middleman. You must actively train your brain to bypass your native language entirely and start thinking directly in English. Before we explore the simple, highly practical daily exercises to build this incredible mental muscle, take a quick moment to support our growing global community. If you want to keep training your mind for continuous personal growth,
mental freedom, and language mastery, please subscribe to Bookwaves Audio right now and give this video a thumbs up so that you never miss our upcoming audio lessons. Now, let us discover together how to unlock the true power of thinking directly in English. To break free from the heavy chains of the translation trap, we first need to understand why our brains naturally default to this exhausting habit in the first place. When you learn a new language as an adult, your native language is already deeply and permanently rooted inside your subconscious mind. It is your ultimate comfort zone, your safety blanket, and your default mode of experiencing reality. When you encounter a foreign language, your brain naturally tries to understand the new sounds by connecting them directly to the words and concepts you already know so well. While this translation method can certainly help you pass a written test or understand a slow reading assignment, it is far too slow and clunky for real-world speech. A normal, everyday human conversation moves at a rapid, dynamic pace, and your brain simply does not possess the processing time required to translate back and forth while trying to maintain the natural rhythm of human interaction. When you translate, you are treating English like a secret mathematical code that needs to be cracked line by line, rather than a living, breathing system of thought. The fantastic news is that your brain is an incredibly flexible, adaptable machine, and with the right daily mental habits, you can teach it to think in English just as easily as it thinks in your native language. The exciting journey toward thinking in English does not require you to sit at a dry study desk for hours every day. Instead, it starts with very small, effortless steps during your ordinary daily routine. The first and easiest stage of this mental training is to start naming the individual physical objects around you in English. As you walk slowly through your house, your office, or down the street, look at the items your eyes land on and say their English names silently inside your mind. When you open your eyes in the morning and look at your place of rest, do not think the word in your native language. Instead, consciously and deliberately trigger the English word bed. When you pour hot water into a container, think cup. When you look out the window on your commute, think tree, car, cloud, or sky. By doing this simple exercise hundreds of times a day, you are building a direct, instant connection between the physical reality of the object and its English label, completely skipping the slow translation step. You are training your brain to see a real-world item and immediately trigger its English concept, which is exactly how native speakers experience the world from the time they are little children. Once your brain becomes completely comfortable with single words, you can easily upgrade your daily practice to the second stage, which is creating simple, one-sentence mental commentaries. Throughout your day, act like a playful narrator of your own private life, describing your immediate actions using very basic, clean English structures. For example, when you are getting ready in the quiet morning, you can think to yourself, "I am drinking warm coffee," or "The weather is beautiful today." When you are preparing to leave your apartment, you can think, "I need to find my keys," or "I am walking toward the car now." It does not matter at all if these sentences are incredibly short, and it does not matter if you make a small grammatical mistake inside your own head. The ultimate goal of this particular exercise is to build a strong, unshakable habit of using English as a practical tool to describe your immediate reality, which creates a natural, easy bridge towards spontaneous, external conversation. Now, take a brief moment to breathe and notice how much knowledge you are absorbing right now. Dedicating your time to mental improvement is a truly wonderful choice, and you are doing an amazing job by investing in your skills. If you love this journey of transformation and want to keep nourishing your mind with the best guides for success, please take a quick second to subscribe to Bookwaves Audio, hit that like button, and drop a comment below to let us know which part resonates with you the most. Your positive energy keeps this channel moving forward every day. Let us now jump right back into the core strategies for mastering your internal thoughts. The third advanced stage of this mental training involves rewriting your inner arguments, choices, and daily planning sessions in English. We all possess a constant, never-ending stream of thoughts running through our heads from morning until night. Whether we are deciding what we want to eat for a healthy dinner, making a detailed to-do list for our job, or remembering a small errand we need to run before dark. Choose just 5 minutes every single day to deliberately force this internal talking voice to speak exclusively in English. You can ask yourself simple internal questions like, "What should I cook tonight?" or "What is my most important task for today?" And then try your absolute best to answer those questions using the basic English words you already know. If you suddenly do not know a specific vocabulary word for a complex thought, do not panic and absolutely do not stop the exercise to look it up in a dictionary app. Instead, force your mind to find a creative, simple way to explain the concept using much easier terms.
This forces your brain to become highly flexible, resourceful, and resilient under pressure, which are the exact qualities you need when having real-world conversations. Another highly effective practical trick to force your brain into an English mindset is to change the language settings on all your digital devices. Think about how many dozens of times a day you look at your smartphone screen, your computer at work, your television, or your social media accounts. By switching the default language of your phone, your email inbox, and your navigation maps to English, you force your brain to interact with the language as a matter of pure daily necessity. At first, it might feel a bit strange, or it might take you a few extra seconds to find a specific setting or application, but within a few short days, your brain will completely adapt to this new visual environment. You will start absorbing technical and everyday words completely naturally because you are seeing them dozens of times a day in a highly meaningful context. You are successfully turning a passive, time-wasting habit into an active learning tool without losing a single extra minute from your busy schedule. As you practice these steps diligently, it is absolutely vital to remember that perfection is never the goal, and you should never punish or criticize yourself if your native language pops back into your thoughts. It takes time, patience, and repetition to rewrite years of deep-seated mental habits, and your brain will naturally try to return to what feels safest and easiest whenever it gets tired. When you notice that you are translating a sentence mid-thought, simply stop, take a deep breath, and gently ask yourself how you can say that exact same thought using 3 or 4 very basic English words. Celebrate the beautiful moments when an English word comes to your mind naturally, without any painful effort, because those tiny daily wins are a physical sign that your brain chemistry is literally changing for the better. By committing to these simple, powerful mind exercises every single day, you will slowly but surely notice a beautiful transformation happening inside your head. The long, frustrating pauses in your speech will become shorter, the heavy hesitation will begin to fade away, and complete sentences will start to form on your tongue without any painful effort. You will no longer feel like an anxious outsider trying to translate a foreign code. Instead, you will feel like a confident speaker who uses English as a natural, beautiful extension of their own brilliant mind. Trust your brain, practice your mental narrative daily, and embrace the incredible, unshakable freedom of thinking directly in English. Chapter 4. Starting with small talk, master the art of daily greetings. Imagine walking into a bright, crowded coffee shop on a chilly morning, or stepping into a quiet office elevator with a coworker you have only seen once or twice in the hallway. The physical atmosphere is warm, but suddenly, the air inside the small space feels incredibly heavy with a tense, uncomfortable silence. You desperately want to say something, anything at all, to break the ice, show that you are a friendly person, and ease the tension, but your mind immediately starts racing with anxiety. You wonder if your greeting will sound unnatural, if your pronunciation will be off, or if you will be able to keep the conversation going if they actually respond with a long sentence. This exact moment of social tension is where the art of small talk becomes your ultimate communication superpower. Many language learners completely overlook small talk because they think it is unimportant, silly, or superficial. But in reality, small talk is the universal gateway to all human connection. It is the gentle, safe runway that allows a social conversation to take off smoothly before you dive into deeper, more complex topics. Before we explore the simple, highly effective formulas to master daily greetings and casual conversations, take a brief moment to support our growing global community. If you want to continue building your real-world communication skills, lifestyle confidence, and language mastery, please subscribe to Bookwaves Audio right now and give this video a like so we can keep growing together every single day. Now, let us learn how to handle daily greetings with absolute ease and confidence. To become a true master of small talk, you must first change how you view these brief human interactions in your mind. Do not think of small talk as a difficult, stressful test of your vocabulary or a performance where you need to impress the other person with your high intelligence.
Instead, see it as a low-stakes, friendly game, where the only real goal is to make the other person feel acknowledged, safe, and comfortable in your presence. When you greet someone, you are simply saying through your words, "I see you, I acknowledge you, and I am completely open to connecting with you for a moment." The beautiful thing about small talk is that it relies almost entirely on highly predictable patterns. Human beings almost always say the exact same types of things during a casual daily greeting, which means you can easily prepare for these situations well in advance. Once you know the basic patterns, you no longer have to worry or stress about what to say next, which instantly removes all the anxiety from the interaction. Let us start with the very first step of any casual conversation, which is the initial physical greeting. In a standard, old-fashioned school textbook, you are often taught to say, "Hello, how are you?" And the expected, rigid response is usually, "I am fine, thank you." While there is technically nothing wrong with this phrase, real life in an English-speaking environment is often much more casual, warm, and fluid. Native speakers frequently use friendly, relaxed expressions like, "How is it going?" or "How have you been?" or simply, "What is up?" If someone walks up to you and says, "How is it going?" they are not looking for a long, detailed medical report about your physical health or your personal problems. They are simply asking a casual question to show friendliness, and a perfect, natural response is to say, "Pretty good, thanks," or "Not too bad, how about you?" By mirroring their casual energy and vocabulary, you immediately establish a relaxed, comfortable tone for the rest of the brief interaction. Once you pass the initial greeting phrase, the next common challenge is to find a safe, easy topic to keep the conversation moving naturally for a minute or two. The most famous, reliable, and universally accepted small talk topic in the world is, of course, the weather. While talking about the weather might seem a little bit boring or basic at first glance, it is a brilliant social topic because it is something that every single human being in that location is experiencing at the exact same moment. It requires zero background knowledge, it is entirely non-controversial, and nobody will ever disagree with you about it. You can easily say something like, "It is really beautiful outside today, isn't it?" Or, "I cannot believe how much it rained this morning. It is freezing." By making a simple, observational comment about your shared physical environment, you invite the other person to agree with you, which creates an instant, positive connection without any intense mental effort on your part. Now, take a brief moment to relax your shoulders and feel proud of the time you are spending on your personal development today. Investing in your communication skills is one of the greatest decisions you can make for your future, and your dedication is truly inspiring. If you find these practical strategies helpful and want to ensure you stay on the right path for continuous growth and mastery, please take a quick second to subscribe to Bookwaves Audio. Hit that like button and leave a comment below sharing your favorite way to greet someone. Your wonderful support gives us the strength to create these highly detailed audio guides for you every single week. Let us now jump straight back into the secrets of casual conversation. Another fantastic, friendly, and highly successful topic for casual talk is asking about the other person's weekend or their immediate personal plans. If you are talking to someone on a Monday morning, you can simply ask a coworker, "Did you do anything fun or relaxing over the weekend?" If it is a Friday afternoon, you can easily change the phrase to, "Do you have any exciting plans for the upcoming weekend?" Human beings naturally love talking about their free time, their favorite hobbies, their pets, and their families. When you ask these types of open, friendly questions, it clearly shows the other person that you are genuinely interested in them as a human being, not just as a business colleague or a random stranger in a room. The golden secret here is to listen intently to their answer and pick out one small, specific detail to follow up on. If they happen to mention that they went to a new Italian restaurant down the street, you can simply say, "Oh, wow, that sounds nice. How was the food?" This simple technique keeps the conversation flowing beautifully and naturally, without you needing to invent brand new topics from scratch. One of the absolute biggest secrets to mastering the art of small talk is the magnificent power of the follow-up question. A real conversation is very much like a fun game of catch, where you throw a ball, the other person catches it, and then they throw it right back to you. If someone asks you a direct question, and you give a short, one-word answer like yes or no, you effectively drop the ball, and the conversation dies right then and there. To keep the ball moving in the air, you must always follow up your answer by gently returning the question to them. For example, if a coworker asks if you are very busy today, instead of just saying yes, you can say, "Yes, I have a lot of important meetings today. How about you? Is your day going to be busy as well?" This simple, short phrase, "How about you?" is a magical communication tool that instantly keeps the dialogue alive, removes the pressure from you, and gives the other person a wonderful chance to speak. As you practice these small talk strategies in your everyday life, always remember to keep your sentences short, simple, clear, and clean. You do not need to use large vocabulary words, complex legal expressions, or poetic phrases to have a truly great casual conversation. In fact, using language that is too formal or stiff during a casual small talk interaction can make the whole moment feel incredibly awkward and uncomfortable for the other person. Focus your energy instead on your delivery, your warm tone of voice, and your physical presence. Keep a relaxed, genuine smile on your face, maintain comfortable, friendly eye contact, and speak with a clear, steady, and calm voice. If you suddenly forget a word or stumble over a sentence mid-talk, do not apologize profusely. Do not look embarrassed, and do not panic. Just smile, correct your mistake quickly, and keep moving forward with the conversation. The other person will always remember how friendly, warm, and confident you made them feel, not the minor grammar mistake you made along the way. By practicing these simple daily greetings and casual conversational routines with the people you meet every day, you will slowly but surely realize that small talk is nothing to fear. It is a beautiful, accessible tool that builds your language confidence step by step, day by day, and interaction by interaction. Every single small conversation you choose to have is a miniature victory that successfully prepares your brain for larger, more complex, and deeper interactions in your future. Trust in these predictable, simple patterns. Stay genuinely curious about the people you meet on your journey, and step into your next casual conversation with a confident mind and an open, friendly heart. Chapter 5. Building your core vocabulary. Words you actually need. Imagine opening a massive, heavy English dictionary containing hundreds of thousands of words spread across thousands of pages. Just looking at those endless, tiny rows of words can make you feel completely overwhelmed and discouraged. You might think yourself that to speak English confidently in front of others, you need to memorize every single one of those words, including the rare, complicated, and advanced ones. But here is a beautiful, magnificent secret that will instantly relieve all your stress and change your perspective forever. Native English speakers only use a tiny fraction of the language for 90% of their daily conversations, business meetings, and social interactions. You do not need to learn advanced medical terms, complex legal language, or ancient poetic words to express your thoughts clearly to another person. True fluency is not about knowing the largest number of words. It is about knowing how to use the most important, versatile words deeply and effectively. Building a core vocabulary means focusing all your energy only on the high-frequency words that you actually need for real life. Before we unlock the smart, practical strategies to build and master this essential vocabulary, take a brief moment to support our channel. If you want to continue sharpening your language skills, building your confidence, and developing your mindset for lifelong success, please subscribe to Bookwaves Audio right now and give this video a like so you never miss a new step on our daily learning journey. Now, let us discover together how to build a powerful core vocabulary that works for you. To understand why a small, tightly focused vocabulary is more than enough for your fluency, we have to look closely at how languages actually work in the real world of human interaction. Modern linguists have discovered a fascinating truth, which is that a remarkably small number of words do almost all the heavy lifting in the English language. If you truly master the top 1,000 most common English words, you will be able to understand and actively participate in the vast majority of daily conversations, casual workplace meetings, and social gatherings. When you try to force yourself to memorize long, dry lists of rare vocabulary words from a random school textbook, your brain quickly gets tired, frustrated, and bored because you never hear or use those words in your actual life. Your brain is an incredibly smart, efficient machine, and if it sees that a specific piece of information is not being used to solve a real-world problem, it simply deletes it from your memory to save space. By focusing your mental energy only on the core words that you hear every single day, you are working with your brain rather than against it, making your learning process 10 times faster and much more permanent. One of the greatest and most effective ways to build your core vocabulary is to stop focusing so much on nouns and start focusing heavily on highly versatile verbs. Verbs are the true, powerful engines of any language because they create action, movement, and context in a sentence. In the English language, there are a few magical verbs that can do dozens of different jobs when you simply combine them with small, everyday words. Think about flexible verbs like get, take, make, do, and have. For example, the word get can mean to receive a physical gift, to understand a complex idea, to arrive at a specific location, or to buy an object from a store. Instead of wasting your time memorizing 4 separate, difficult, and rare words for those exact actions, you can master the simple word get in different situations to say exactly what you mean with ease. When you master these highly flexible core verbs, you instantly multiply your speaking power by 10 without needing to load your brain with hundreds of separate definitions. Another powerful, highly successful strategy for vocabulary growth is to learn words in natural phrases rather than as single, isolated items on a page. When you memorize a single vocabulary word all by itself, you often have no idea how to connect it to other words when it is finally time to speak in public. This lack of connection causes you to hesitate, panic, and stumble mid-sentence while your brain searches for the right grammar rules. But when you learn words in natural pairs or blocks, which are called collocations, you are giving your brain pre-built blocks of language that are ready to use. For instance, instead of just learning the word decision, learn the whole phrase, make a decision. Instead of just learning the word mistake, Learn the natural phrase, make a mistake. When you practice these natural combinations daily, your speech automatically becomes smoother, faster, and more natural, because your brain does not have to assemble the sentence piece by piece under the pressure of a real conversation. Now, take a brief moment to relax, take a deep breath, and appreciate how much progress you are making today. Choosing to improve your mind and your communication skills is a beautiful sign of self-respect, and you should be genuinely proud of your dedication to self-growth. If you love these practical, mind-shifting insights and want to ensure you stay inspired on your path to greatness, please take a quick second to subscribe to Bookwaves Audio, hit that like button, and share your thoughts in the comments section below. Your incredible support helps us keep creating these deeply detailed, high-quality audiobooks for your daily routine. Let us now jump right back into our discussion on mastering your core vocabulary. To make your core vocabulary stick in your mind forever, you must move away from old-fashioned flashcards and start using a powerful psychological technique called contextual learning. Contextual learning means you only learn a brand new word when you encounter it inside a real sentence, a real conversation, or an engaging story. When you see an unfamiliar word while listening to a simple audiobook or watching an interesting video, do not just stop everything to look up the definition in a boring dictionary. Instead, look closely at the words around it. Listen to the emotion of the speaker and try your absolute best to guess what it means based on the general situation. Once you understand the basic meaning of the word in that specific context, immediately try to create 3 simple sentences of your own, using that word to describe your own life. If you learn the word appreciate, you can think to yourself, I appreciate my best friend, or I appreciate this warm cup of tea. By connecting the new word directly to your actual personal life, you lock it into your long-term memory forever. As you expand your active vocabulary day by day, it is extremely important to avoid the common trap of sophistication and complexity. Many language learners make the big mistake of trying to use large, complex, and rare words because they think it makes them sound smarter, more professional, or more fluent. In reality, the most effective and powerful speakers in the entire world are the ones who can explain highly complicated, deep ideas using incredibly simple, clear words. Simple language is elegant, clean, beautiful, and easy for every single person to understand without effort. When you use simple words with total confidence and absolute clarity, you completely eliminate the risk of being misunderstood, and you keep your speech moving forward without any awkward, painful pauses. Your ultimate goal is human connection, not technical perfection, and a clean, simple vocabulary is the fastest vehicle to reach that goal. As you step out into the world today and continue your personal journey, look at your language goals with a deep sense of relief and peace. You do not need to climb a massive, impossible mountain of hundreds of thousands of words to be an outstanding, confident English speaker. You just need to master the essential, flexible tools that are already right in front of you every single day. Focus your mind on the words you hear most frequently. Practice using your core verbs creatively in different situations, and always choose clarity over complexity. Every single day, your core vocabulary will grow stronger, your sentences will become more natural, and your confidence will reach brand new heights. Trust in your daily progress, keep things beautifully simple, and let your voice be heard by the world with absolute confidence. Chapter 6. The Secret of Shadowing. Copying native speakers for perfect rhythm. Imagine you are listening to a beautiful, moving piece of music played on a grand piano by a master musician. You can feel the energy of the music, you notice how the notes flow smoothly from one to another, and you feel the exact emotion the artist wants to share. Now, imagine trying to play that exact same piece of music yourself.
But instead of listening to the song and feeling its movement, you are forced to only read silent, cold musical notes printed on a piece of paper. Even if you hit all the correct keys, your playing might sound stiff, robotic, and completely devoid of life. This is exactly what happens when language learners try to speak English by only studying written grammar rules and vocabulary words on a page. You might know the words, but you lack the rhythm, the cadence, and the natural music of the language. To speak English confidently from day one, you must learn to sound less like a textbook and more like a real person. And the absolute best way to achieve this is through a powerful technique called shadowing. Shadowing is the ultimate secret of advanced language learners, and it simply means copying a native speaker instantly and accurately, almost like an echo in a deep valley. Before we unlock the step-by-step methods to master this incredible vocal exercise, take a quick moment to support our journey. If you want to continue training your mind for ultimate personal growth, unshakable confidence, and language mastery, please subscribe to Bookwaves Audio right now and give this video a like so you never miss a new step on your daily path to success. Now, let us discover together how to use the secret of shadowing to achieve a perfect, natural rhythm in English. To understand why shadowing is so incredibly effective, we must first look at the physical mechanics of speech. Speaking a new language is not just a mental exercise of memory, it is a highly physical activity that requires the precise coordination of dozens of muscles in your mouth, your tongue, your lips, and your throat. When you grow up speaking your native language, these muscles develop specific habits, strength, and memory for making a particular set of sounds. When you try to speak English using your native mouth habits, you naturally experience accent anxiety, you stumble over long words, and your speech sounds heavy or awkward. Shadowing acts like a high-intensity workout for your speaking muscles. By listening to a native speaker and repeating their words immediately after them, you force your mouth and tongue to copy their exact movements, their facial posture, and their breathing patterns. You are literally retraining your physical body to produce the authentic shapes and sounds of English, building strong muscle memory that makes natural speech feel automatic and effortless over time. The beauty of the shadowing technique is that it completely bypasses the traditional boring method of memorization and focuses entirely on natural imitation. Think about how a skilled impressionist or an actor learns to copy the exact voice of a famous person. They do not sit at a desk and study a dictionary of the person's words. Instead, they listen to recordings of the person over and over again, paying intense attention to the rise and fall of their voice, where they pause to take a breath, and how they emphasize certain letters. They copy the energy, the mood, and the speed of the speaker until they sound exactly like them. When you practice shadowing, you are doing the exact same thing with English. You are not just learning definitions. You are absorbing the soul, the rhythm, and the natural vibe of the language directly from the source. Let us break down exactly how to practice this technique in your daily routine using 3 simple progressive stages. The first stage is what we call silent shadowing with active listening. Find a short, clear English audio clip, such as a paragraph from a simple audiobook or a line from an inspiring speech. Listen to the speaker carefully, but do not open your mouth yet. Instead, focus all your attention on the music of their speech. Notice how they do not say each word with equal volume or length. They make important content words sound louder and longer, while making small grammar words sound short and quiet. Notice where they naturally pause to catch their breath, and how their voice goes up when they ask a question, or down when they finish a thought. By listening with this intense level of focus, you are mapping out the invisible rhythm of the language inside your subconscious mind. Now take a brief moment to relax your mind. Sit up straight and appreciate the incredible effort you are putting into your personal growth today. Choosing to educate yourself and build your communication skills
is a massive step toward creating a highly successful and prosperous life. If you love these practical, life-changing strategies and want to ensure you stay inspired and consistent on your journey to mastery, please take a quick second to subscribe to Bookwaves Audio, hit that like button, and share this track with someone who is also working hard to improve their voice. Your wonderful support gives us the passion to create these deeply detailed audio guides for your daily life. Let us now jump right back into the practical steps of the shadowing technique. The second stage of your practice is called delayed shadowing with a text. Take the exact same short audio clip you used in the first stage and find the written text or script for it. Play the first sentence of the audio, pause the player immediately, and then repeat the sentence out loud, trying your absolute best to copy the exact tone, speed, and emotion of the speaker. Do not just read the text normally, try to act like you are the original speaker. If the speaker sounds excited, you must sound excited. If the speaker pauses before an important word, you must pause too. Look at the written text to help you understand the words, but let your ears guide your actual voice. Practice this sentence-by-sentence imitation several times until you feel completely comfortable matching the original rhythm and pace of the audio clip. The third and most advanced stage is true, real-time shadowing without pausing the audio. This is where the real transformation happens. Play the audio clip continuously without stopping and try to speak the words out loud at the exact same time as the speaker, running just a fraction of a second behind them like a loyal shadow.
At first, this will feel incredibly strange, and you might drop words, miss syllables, or feel like your tongue is completely twisted. This is entirely normal and a natural part of the process. Do not worry about perfection, and do not stop the audio when you make a mistake. Just keep moving forward, catching the next word, and staying with the rhythm of the speaker. By doing this regularly for just 10 minutes a day, you are forcing your brain to process auditory input and generate spoken output at the exact same time, which is the ultimate key to spontaneous, real-world fluency. To get the absolute best results from your shadowing practice, always choose speakers whose voice, accent, and style you genuinely enjoy and want to emulate. If you want to develop a calm, professional, and confident business voice, choose a speaker who speaks slowly, clearly, and authoritatively. If you want to learn casual, friendly English for social gatherings, choose a relaxed lifestyle vlogger or an engaging storyteller. When you copy a specific person, you naturally absorb their unique confidence and charisma, which instantly boosts your own self-esteem when it is your turn to speak to others in real life. As you step out into the world today, remember that speaking English elegantly is not a matter of luck or genetic talent. It is simply a physical habit that you can completely master through the power of creative imitation. Be patient with your mouth muscles as they learn these new movements, and do not let initial mistakes discourage you. Every single minute you spend shadowing high-quality English is a powerful investment in your personal communication skills. Your speech will naturally become smoother, your accent will become clearer, and your confidence will soar to brand new heights. Trust the process, keep practicing your daily rhythm, and let your voice be heard by the world with absolute power. Chapter 7. Overcoming the accent anxiety, clarity over perfection. Imagine you are standing inside a bustling international airport, surrounded by thousands of travelers from every corner of the globe. As you sit near your gate, you look around and listen closely to the voices echoing through the terminal. You hear a businessman from Tokyo talking on his phone, a software engineer from Berlin discussing a project with a colleague, and a tour guide from Rome laughing with a group of visitors. Every single one of these individuals is communicating in English, yet every single one of them possesses a vastly different accent. They do not sound like a television news anchor from New York or a radio presenter from London, but they are speaking with absolute confidence, and everyone around them understands them perfectly. Now, contrast this real-world scene with the internal reality of many language learners.
Millions of brilliant individuals sit in silence, holding back their great ideas simply because they feel deeply ashamed of their native accent. They worry that their accent makes them sound uneducated, strange, or imperfect to others. This intense anxiety acts as a heavy anchor that drags down your confidence and stops you from sharing your unique voice with the world. But what if the ultimate goal of speaking a language is not to hide your cultural background or sound like a native speaker? What if the true secret to global communication is prioritizing absolute clarity over absolute perfection? Welcome to this crucial chapter of mental freedom. Before we dismantle the myth of the perfect accent and learn the physical techniques for clear speech, take a quick moment to support our growing channel. If you want to continue building your real-world communication skills, unshakable confidence, and global fluency, please subscribe to Bookwaves Audio right now and give this video a like so you never miss a step on our daily journey to self-improvement. Now, let us discover together how to conquer accent anxiety and unleash your authentic voice. To truly heal from accent anxiety, we must first change how we look at what an accent actually represents. Many learners view their native accent as a mistake, a flaw, or a visual sign of low English fluency. But this perspective is completely wrong and highly damaging to your self-esteem. Your native accent is not a collection of errors. It is a beautiful physical testament to your personal history, your heritage, and the beautiful culture you come from. It tells the world that you already master at least one entire language, and that you possess the incredible courage, intelligence, and drive to learn a second one later in life. Having an accent is a badge of honor, a sign of effort, and a mark of sophistication. When a native English speaker hears you speak with an accent, they do not think less of you. In fact, most people find a unique foreign accent to be incredibly interesting, charming, and engaging. The only place where your accent is viewed as a shameful failure is inside your own overly critical mind. Let us look at how the global landscape of the English language has fundamentally shifted over the last few decades. In the past, English belonged mostly to a few specific countries, and learners felt a heavy pressure to copy those exact native accents. But today, English is the undisputed global language of business, science, technology, and international relations. Statistics show that there are now far more non-native English speakers on the planet than there are native speakers. This means that when English is used on the global stage, it is usually spoken between two people who both learned it as a second language. In these international environments, a heavy local accent from New York or London is not an advantage. In fact, native speakers who use complex local slang or fast idioms often struggle to communicate because they lack global awareness. The people who win in the modern world are not the ones with a specific regional accent, but the ones who can speak clearly, calmly, and efficiently to anyone, regardless of their country of origin. To make this global transition successful, you must replace your pursuit of perfection with the practice of clarity. Clarity simply means that your speech is clean and easy for the listener's brain to process without extra effort. You do not need to sound like you were born in America to be clear. You simply need to master two physical habits: correct word stress and proper speed control. In English, the rhythm of a word depends entirely on which syllable you emphasize. For example, if you say the word computer, you must put the energy on the middle part of the word. If you emphasize the wrong part, the word can sound strange to a listener, even if your accent is completely flawless. By shifting your study focus away from hiding your accent and toward mastering basic word stress, you get immediate results with 10 times less frustration. Now, take a brief moment to sit back, relax your jaw, and appreciate the wonderful investment you are making in your personal education today. Choosing to conquer your inner fears and expand your speaking skills is a beautiful act of self-improvement that will open doors of opportunity for the rest of your life. If you love these liberating, practical insights and want to ensure you stay consistent and inspired on your path to mastery, please take a quick second to subscribe to Bookwaves Audio, hit that like button, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your incredible support gives us the passion and energy to keep building these deeply detailed audio guides for your daily life. Let us now return to our discussion on mastering your delivery. The second physical habit for achieving absolute clarity is the deliberate control of your speaking speed. When many language learners feel anxious or nervous during a conversation, their natural survival instinct is to speak as quickly as possible. They rush through their sentences because they subconsciously want to get the interaction over with, or because they falsely believe that speaking fast makes them look highly fluent. But this rapid pacing is a dangerous trap. When you speak too quickly with a foreign accent, your words run together, your mouth muscles lose their precision, and the listener has to strain to understand your meaning. The ultimate remedy for accent anxiety is to slow down your delivery by 20%. Take your time with your vowels, let your consonants finish completely, and do not be afraid to place comfortable pauses between your thoughts. When you speak slowly and deliberately, it sends a powerful psychological signal to the listener that you are a calm, measured, and deeply confident individual who values the quality of their message. Another highly effective mental trick to eliminate accent anxiety is to focus your entire attention on the listener rather than on your own performance. When you are constantly worrying about how your voice sounds, you become trapped in a state of hyper self-awareness. You pick apart every sound you make, you notice every tiny stumble, and you amplify your own insecurity. This internal distraction breaks your connection with the other person. Instead of listening to yourself, shift your focus completely outward. Look at the person you are talking to, pay attention to their eyes, listen deeply to their ideas, and put all your energy into making sure they understand your core concepts. When your primary intention is to deliver value and build a human connection, your self-consciousness naturally fades away, and your speech becomes much more fluid and relaxed. You must also realize that language is a flexible bridge, not a rigid cage. If you ever say a word and notice that the other person looks slightly confused, do not let that moment trigger a wave of panic or shame. A brief misunderstanding is a normal, everyday part of all human communication, even between people who have spoken the same native language their entire lives. Simply smile, stay relaxed, and use different, simpler words to explain your idea. You can say, "Let me phrase that another way," or "What I mean is," and then use your core vocabulary to deliver the message. This shows the world that you are a highly resourceful, resilient communicator who cannot be stopped by a minor physical hitch in pronunciation. As you step out into the world today and engage in new conversations, walk with a sense of pride and freedom. Your accent is a beautiful map of where you have been, and your courage to speak English is a clear sign of where you are going in life. Stop treating your background as something to hide, and start treating clarity as your ultimate goal. Speak slowly, project your voice with pride, emphasize your words with intent, and always remember that a confident message delivered with a warm, authentic accent will always touch a human heart far more deeply than a cold, perfect sentence delivered with fear. Trust your voice, embrace your unique story, and speak your mind with absolute confidence. Chapter 8. Speaking to Yourself, the Mirror Technique and Solo Practice. Imagine you are a professional athlete preparing for the biggest, most important game of your entire life. You need to perform at your absolute best under intense pressure in front of thousands of watching eyes. Do you wait until the day of the big game to step onto the field and practice your moves for the very first time? Absolutely not. You spend hundreds of quiet hours practicing by yourself in an empty gym, repeating the exact same movements over and over again until your muscles know exactly what to do without thinking.
Yet when it comes to learning English, many language learners do the exact opposite. They believe that they can only practice speaking when they are interacting with another real person. They wait for the perfect moment to find a conversation partner, a native speaker, or a formal class, and when that moment finally arrives, they feel completely frozen by intense anxiety. They stumble over their words because their mouth muscles and brain pathways have never done the work in private. To build unshakable confidence from day one, you must realize that you do not need to wait for anyone else to give you permission to practice. Your living room, your bedroom, and your bathroom mirror are the ultimate, judgment-free training grounds where you can build fluent habits entirely on your own. Welcome to this transformative chapter on solo mastery. Before we unlock the practical exercises and psychological secrets of the mirror technique, take a brief moment to support our shared journey. If you want to continue feeding your mind with the ultimate guides for self-improvement, language freedom, and lifelong confidence, please subscribe to Bookwaves Audio right now and give this video a like so you never miss a new step on your daily path to success. Now, let us discover how to become your own best teacher through the power of solo practice. To understand why speaking to yourself is such a powerful strategy, we have to look at the main source of language anxiety. When you speak English with another human being, your brain is forced to do two incredibly difficult things at the exact same time. First, it has to physically generate the correct sounds, find the vocabulary words, and organize the grammar rules. Second, it has to manage the intense social pressure of the interaction, worry about what the other person thinks of you, and read their body language. For many learners, this double load causes a total mental shutdown. By choosing to practice completely alone in a quiet room, you completely eliminate the social pressure from the equation. Your brain can dedicate 100% of its energy to the physical and mechanical act of forming words and building smooth speech habits. You create a safe space where mistakes have zero negative consequences, allowing your mind to explore the language with absolute freedom. The most famous and highly effective solo training method is what experts call the mirror technique. This exercise is incredibly simple, yet it yields massive results for your personal presence and confidence. Find a quiet time during your day when you can stand in front of a mirror alone for just 5 minutes. Look directly at your own eyes, take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and start talking out loud in English. You can talk about how your day is going, share your current thoughts, or summarize a book you recently listened to. The key to this exercise is not just focusing on the words, but focusing intently on your visual delivery. Watch the movement of your mouth, look at your posture, and check your facial expressions. Many learners do not realize that when they speak a foreign language, their faces look incredibly tense, their eyebrows are wrinkled with stress, and they look like they are in pain. By watching yourself in the mirror, you can actively train your body to maintain an open, relaxed smile and a confident, upright posture, which naturally triggers a feeling of calm confidence inside your brain. As you stand in front of that mirror and practice your solo narrative, you are actively rewriting your internal self-image. For a long time, you have probably viewed yourself as someone who struggles with English, someone who hesitates, or someone who is afraid. But when you look at your reflection and see a person who is standing tall, smiling, and speaking English sentences smoothly without stopping, your subconscious mind begins to accept a brand new reality. It starts to believe that you are, in fact, a confident English speaker. This visual shift is incredibly powerful because your brain always tries to align your real-world behavior with your internal identity. Now, take a brief moment to pause, relax your jaw, and recognize the incredible value of the time you are dedicating to your self-growth today. Committing to a daily habit of solo practice
takes real discipline, and you should be genuinely proud of your determination to master your voice. If you love these practical, empowering insights and want to ensure you stay inspired and on the right track for continuous personal evolution, please take a quick second to subscribe to Bookwaves Audio, hit that like button, and share your experiences in the comments section below. Your fantastic support helps us keep building these deeply detailed audiobooks for your daily routine. Let us now jump right back into our discussion on mastering solo practice. Another highly effective solo exercise that you can easily integrate into your daily life is what we call the stream of consciousness technique. This exercise requires zero preparation and can be done anywhere, whether you are driving alone in your car, cleaning your room, or walking down a quiet street. Start speaking out loud and simply say every single thought that pops into your head at that exact moment, without editing, censoring, or correcting yourself. For example, you might say out loud, "I am walking into the kitchen now. I feel a little bit hungry. I wonder what is inside the refrigerator. Oh, look, there is an apple. The apple looks very fresh. I think I will eat it." The magic of this exercise is that it forces your brain to build speed and direct connection between thought and action. It teaches your mind to stop overthinking grammar rules and instead focus entirely on the continuous flow of language. If you get stuck on a specific word, do not stop the sentence to look it up. Simply explain the concept using other words or keep moving forward with a new thought. If you want to take your solo practice to the next level and get immediate, measurable feedback on your progress, you should start using the record and review technique. Use the simple voice recorder application on your smartphone to record yourself speaking English for 2 minutes on a specific topic. Once you are finished, play the recording back to yourself and listen to your own voice like an impartial coach. Pay attention to your speed, your pacing, and the clarity of your sounds. Do not use this review time to criticize yourself or feel discouraged by your flaws. Instead, look for 1 or 2 specific areas where you can make a tiny improvement next time. For instance, you might notice that you speak a bit too fast when you get excited, or that you use too many filler words like and between your thoughts. By becoming aware of these specific patterns in private, you can actively choose to adjust them during your next solo session. You can also use solo practice to prepare your brain for specific, upcoming real-world interactions. If you know that you have an important job interview, a meeting with a client, or a casual social event next week, use your private time to practice your answers and greetings out loud. Imagine the exact questions the other person might ask you, and then practice delivering your responses with a strong, clear voice and a relaxed posture. By running through these scenarios in your room multiple times, you are creating a sense of familiarity for your brain. When the actual day arrives, your mind will not treat the interaction as a scary, brand-new shock. Instead, it will feel like a routine game that you have already successfully played and won dozens of times in private. As you move forward with your day-to-day, let go of the false belief that you need someone else to help you become a fluent speaker. You possess all the tools you need right inside your own room and your own mind. Treat your solo practice time as a sacred, joyful ritual of self-improvement. Talk to yourself in the mirror, narrate your daily actions, record your voice with pride, and let your mouth muscles become totally comfortable with the beautiful sounds of English. Every single word you speak aloud in private is a direct building block for your future public success. Trust your own guidance, enjoy the absolute freedom of your solo training ground, and step out into the world with an unshakable sense of confidence. Chapter 9. Mastering the Pause. How to think on your feet without panic. Imagine sitting across from a highly respected professional, a confident leader, or an inspiring global storyteller during a live interview or a deep conversation. When you ask them a complex or challenging question, watch how they react. They do not immediately blast out a fast, nervous stream of words to fill the empty space. Instead, they do something truly remarkable. They look at you calmly, take a comfortable breath, and allow a quiet, deliberate pause to settle over the room for a few seconds before they say their very first word. This silence does not make them look weak, confused, or unconfident. In fact, it does the exact opposite. It makes them look incredibly wise, composed, and in total control of their thoughts. Now think about what happens inside the mind of an anxious language learner when a sudden silence occurs mid-sentence. A wave of intense panic washes over your body. You feel that every extra second of silence is a visible sign of your failure or low fluency. You desperately rush to find any word at all, which causes you to say, or like over and over again, completely breaking the beauty of your message. But what if the secret to sounding highly fluent is not about speaking faster without stopping? What if the ultimate key to communication mastery is learning how to embrace the power of the deliberate pause? Welcome to this eye-opening chapter on mental pacing. Before we unlock the practical secrets to thinking on your feet without a single drop of panic, take a brief moment to support our shared mission. If you want to continue feeding your mind with the ultimate guides for self-development, personal success, and language freedom, please subscribe to Bookwaves Audio right now and give this video a like so you never miss a new step on your daily path to confidence. Now, let us discover together how to master the magnificent art of the pause. To understand why we experience such an intense panic during a brief conversational silence, we have to look closely at our underlying psychological fears. When you are speaking a second language under pressure, your brain views a silent pause as a dangerous gap where you are exposed to judgment. You worry that if you stop talking for even 2 seconds, the listener will immediately think that you have run out of vocabulary, that you do not know the grammar, or that you are not smart enough to keep up. This internal fear forces you into a state of hyperspeed. You try to force your tongue to move faster than your brain can actively generate thoughts. When your physical voice outruns your internal mind, a terrible traffic jam occurs inside your mouth. You start to stutter, you repeat the same basic words, and your confidence completely collapses. To break free from this destructive loop, you must realize a fundamental truth about human psychology, which is that a pause is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of ultimate luxury and confidence. When you dare to pause, you tell the listener that you value the quality of your thoughts far more than the speed of your delivery. Let us look at how native English speakers actually behave during their everyday real-world interactions. If you listen closely to an ordinary conversation between 2 people born in America or Canada, you will quickly notice that their speech is naturally filled with pauses, hesitations, and breaks. Human beings do not think in long, perfect, pre-written paragraphs. We think in small, separate bursts of ideas. A native speaker will say a few words, stop for a brief moment to grab their next thought, and then keep going. They do not experience panic during that brief stop because they view it as a completely natural element of human speech. When you, as a language learner, allow yourself to use these exact same natural pauses, you instantly sound far more human, relaxed, and authentic. You stop sounding like a stressed student trying to recite a memorized speech, and you start sounding like a real person sharing a genuine piece of their mind. To make the pause work for your confidence, you need to learn how to replace your unhelpful filler words with clean, silent gaps. Many language learners have a powerful habit of using sounds like or like every time they need a moment to think. They make these noises because their subconscious mind is terrified of silence, so it generates a random sound just to prove that they are still awake and trying. While an occasional filler sound is totally fine, using them constantly creates a chaotic, messy rhythm that completely exhausts the listener's ear.
It makes you sound unsure of your own knowledge. The ultimate remedy for this habit is to simply close your mouth whenever you feel a gap coming. When you need a second to find a specific vocabulary word or organize a grammar structure, do not make an awkward sound. Simply close your lips, breathe in gently through your nose, find the word in your mind, and then speak with total clarity. This clean silence turns a moment of hesitation into a beautiful point of emphasis. Now, take a brief moment to sit up straight, relax your neck muscles, and recognize the incredible value of the time you are investing in your personal self-education today. Choosing to master your mind and control your delivery pace is a beautiful act of self-development that will elevate your personal charisma for the rest of your life. If you love these practical, empowering insights and want to ensure you stay inspired and consistent on your grand journey to mastery, please take a quick second to subscribe to Bookwaves Audio, hit that like button, and drop a comment below sharing your thoughts on this lesson. Your wonderful support gives us the precise energy we need to keep creating these deeply detailed audiobooks for your daily routine. Let us now jump right back into the secrets of calm pacing. Another incredible strategy to help you think on your feet without a single drop of panic is the clever use of stall phrases. Stall phrases are polite, natural, and highly professional expressions that buy your brain 5 to 10 seconds of valuable processing time without creating any awkwardness. For example, if someone asks you a complex question at work or during a social gathering, instead of freezing up, you can look them in the eye and say with a warm smile, "That is a really fascinating question. Let me think about that for a second." Alternatively, you can say, "That is a great point. Let me organize my thoughts on that." While you are calmly delivering these beautiful phrases, your brain gets a wonderful cushion of extra time to search your memory files, retrieve the correct vocabulary words, and build a solid sentence structure. The listener will view your response as a sign of respect and deep intelligence, completely unaware that you simply used a smart linguistic trick to manage your internal pacing. You can also master the art of the pause by actively practicing what experts call chunking. Chunking simply means breaking your long sentences down into small, digestible groups of words with a tiny, natural pause after each group. For instance, instead of trying to say a long sentence like, "I think that we need to change our entire corporate strategy because the market is shifting very rapidly right now," all in one fast breath, you can break it up. You can say, "I think that we need to change our entire corporate strategy," pause, "because the market is shifting," pause, "very rapidly right now." This rhythmic spacing gives your brain a micro break after every single chunk of information, allowing it to prepare the next set of words without experiencing any friction or exhaustion. It also makes your message 10 times easier for the listener to digest and remember. As you practice these pacing strategies in your real-world interactions, always remember that the ultimate enemy of confidence is rush. There is absolutely no prize in life for the person who finishes their sentence the fastest. The true prize belongs to the person who can communicate their concepts with absolute clarity, emotional presence, and unshakable calm. If you ever find yourself losing control of your speech mid-conversation, do not try to fix it by talking faster. Simply stop speaking entirely for 1 full second. Take a comfortable, deep breath, anchor your posture, smile warmly, and restart your thought at a much slower, measured pace. This moment of deliberate self-correction shows the world that you are a powerful individual who rules over their own mind. As you step out into the world today and participate in new conversations, carry a deep sense of peace inside your heart. You own your words,
you own your voice, and you completely own the speed at which you speak. Never allow the fast pace of the world to rush your beautiful mind. Embrace the silent gaps. Use your stall phrases with pride. Chunk your thoughts with rhythm. And always remember that a calm, confident speaker who knows how to use the power of the pause will always hold the complete attention of any room. Trust your brain, enjoy the quiet moments of speech, and share your mind with absolute confidence. Chapter 10. Engaging in real conversations, finding partners and joining groups. Imagine spending months or even years practicing a beautiful musical instrument inside the quiet, hidden walls of your bedroom. You have learned all the correct hand positions. You have practiced the scales until your fingers move perfectly, and you can play your favorite tunes flawlessly when you are completely alone. But a musical instrument is not built to stay hidden away in a dark closet forever. Its true purpose is to be brought out onto a real stage, under the warm lights, to be played alongside other musicians in a grand orchestra and shared with a living audience. The exact same truth applies to your English-speaking journey. You can practice thinking in English, you can build a massive core vocabulary in private, and you can shadow native speakers in front of your bathroom mirror for hours every single day. All of these private habits are incredibly valuable, but they are ultimately just preparation for the real world. To unlock your true global potential and achieve unshakable confidence, you must eventually step outside your comfort zone and take your skills into the wild playground of real human interaction. You must find real conversation partners, join active speaking communities, and test your voice in real, dynamic conversations. This step can feel incredibly scary at first, but it is the exact place where your practical fluency truly comes alive. Before we explore the smart, safe, and highly effective ways to find practice partners and join supportive groups, take a brief moment to support our shared mission. If you want to keep feeding your mind with the ultimate guides for self-improvement, language freedom, and lifelong personal success, please subscribe to Bookwaves Audio right now and give this video a like so you never miss a new step on your daily path to greatness. Now, let us discover together how to step into the world of real conversations with absolute ease. To overcome the initial fear of speaking to real people, we have to look closely at how we choose our social environments. Many language learners make the mistake of jumping straight into the deepest, most stressful waters of conversation before they are truly ready. They try to speak to a fast-talking business client, participate in a complex political debate, or walk up to a large group of native speakers at a noisy party. When these high-pressure interactions naturally feel overwhelming or awkward, the learner experiences a wave of shame, retreats back into their shell, and concludes that their English is simply not good enough. But this is like trying to lift the heaviest weight in the gym on your very first day of training. The secret to building unshakable real-world confidence is to deliberately seek out low-pressure, highly supportive conversation environments. You want to look for spaces where everyone is there with the exact same goal as you, which is to learn, practice, and grow together without any fear of harsh judgment or social exclusion. In our modern, highly connected world, finding a fantastic conversation partner has become easier than it has ever been in human history. There are dozens of free, safe, and professional online platforms designed specifically to connect language learners from different corners of the globe. You can easily find a language exchange partner who is a native English speaker wanting to learn your native language. In this type of partnership, you spend half the time speaking in your language to help them, and the other half speaking in English to help yourself. This creates a beautiful, equal balance of mutual respect and patience. Your partner understands exactly how difficult it is to speak a foreign language because they are going through the exact same struggle themselves. They will not laugh at your minor grammar mistakes or judge your accent. Instead, They will gently guide you, cheer for your progress, and give you the space you need to formulate your thoughts without any rush. Another brilliant way to take your fluency to the next level is by joining structured English speaking clubs or online communities. Look for local or global groups, such as international speaking meetups or professional networks like Toastmasters, where people gather regularly to practice their communication and public speaking skills. When you step into a dedicated speaking club, you enter a room that is entirely engineered for your success. These groups are full of inspiring, highly motivated individuals who value self-improvement just as much as you do. The meetings are usually organized around fun, predictable activities, like sharing a short story, answering an unexpected question, or playing a casual group game. This structure gives your brain a comfortable framework to follow, instantly removing the stress of wondering what you should talk about next. Now, take a brief moment to sit back, relax your shoulders, and appreciate the immense courage you are showing by dedicating your time to self-growth today. Choosing to step outward and build real human connections through a new language is a magnificent act of personal development that will expand your world forever. If you love these practical, empowering strategies and want to ensure you stay inspired and consistent on your grand journey to mastery, please take a quick second to subscribe to Bookwaves Audio, hit that like button, and drop a comment below sharing your own experiences with finding practice partners. Your wonderful support gives us the passion and energy to keep building these deeply detailed audio guides for your daily life. Let us now jump right back into the secrets of group engagement. When you participate in a real conversation or a group meeting, one of the greatest secrets to feeling instant confidence is to master the art of being a great listener first. Many anxious learners put an immense amount of pressure on themselves because they think they need to talk constantly or tell the most brilliant stories to be accepted by the group. This internal pressure causes them to sit in silent terror, worrying about what they will say when it is their turn to speak. But true communication is a two-way street, and people love great listeners far more than they love fast talkers. When you enter a conversation group, focus all your attention on listening deeply to the person who is currently speaking. Smile, nod your head to show agreement, and maintain warm, friendly eye contact. When they finish speaking, you do not need to deliver a long, complex speech of your own. You can simply ask a friendly follow-up question based on what they just said, using simple phrases like, "That sounds amazing. How did you feel when that happened?" Or, "That is really interesting. Can you tell me more about that?" This technique keeps you actively engaged in the conversation, makes the other person feel incredibly valued, and allows you to practice your English without needing to carry the heavy weight of the entire dialogue. You should also look for opportunities to bring your English practice into your existing daily hobbies and personal interests. If you love reading about personal development, playing video games, cooking healthy meals, or practicing photography, look for online groups and forums where people discuss these specific topics exclusively in English. When you join a community that is focused on a shared passion, the language naturally stops being a stressful subject that you are trying to study and instead becomes a fun, useful vehicle to enjoy your hobby. You will find yourself typing messages, reading comments, and joining live voice chats completely naturally because your brain is focused on the excitement of the topic rather than the technicalities of the grammar rules. You are successfully tricking your mind into learning English through pure joy and engagement. As you step into these real-world interactions, remember to always be incredibly kind and patient with yourself during the process. There will be days when you enter a group and feel like an absolute superstar, speaking smoothly and laughing with new friends. There might also be days when you feel a bit tired, your mind moves a little slower, and you struggle to find the basic words you know so well. This variance is a completely normal, healthy part of the human experience, even for native speakers.
Never let one awkward conversation or one silent moment define your entire identity as a speaker. View every single interaction, whether it goes perfectly or feels a little bit messy, as a highly valuable piece of data that helps your brain adjust and grow stronger for the next time. As you move forward with your day-to-day, carry a bold sense of adventure inside your heart. The world is full of beautiful, friendly people who are waiting to hear your thoughts, learn about your culture, and share a meaningful connection with you. Step away from your private training grounds, put your core vocabulary to use, embrace the friendly energy of speaking groups, and let your voice ring out into the real world with absolute pride. Every single conversation you choose to join is a direct bridge toward your ultimate language freedom. Trust your preparation, celebrate your social courage, and speak your mind with absolute and unshakable confidence. Chapter 11. The Body Language of Confidence, Sounding Bold Through Posture. Imagine walking into a large, quiet room where a corporate conference or a high-level social gathering is taking place. As you look across the crowded space, your eyes instantly freeze on a single individual standing near the center. This person is not speaking out loud, they are not wearing flashy clothing, and they are not doing anything dramatic to catch people's attention. Yet everyone in the room can feel their immense presence, authority, and unshakable confidence. You can tell just by looking at them that they are a leader, a person of high value, and someone who feels completely safe in their own skin. Now, think about how this visual message works in reverse. Imagine meeting someone who speaks perfect, grammatically flawless English, but their shoulders are heavily rolled forward, their eyes are glued to the floor, their hands are twitching nervously in their pockets, and they look like they desperately want to vanish into thin air. Even though their words are correct, your brain automatically receives a powerful signal of fear, insecurity, and weakness. Many language learners spend 100% of their time trying to fix the words inside their mouth, without ever realizing that their physical body is already talking loudly to the world before they even open their lips. To speak English boldly from day one, you must realize that confidence is not just a mental state, it is a physical habit. Your body language has a direct, magical power over how the world perceives your speech, and more importantly, how your own brain experiences confidence. Welcome to this transformative chapter on physical presence. Before we unlock the secrets of body posture and vocal projection, take a brief moment to support our shared mission. If you want to continue building your real-world communication skills, unshakable self-esteem, and lifelong mastery, please subscribe to Bookwaves Audio right now and give this video a like so you never miss a new step on your daily path to greatness. Now let us discover together how to use the power of your body to sound bold and confident in any language. To truly understand why body language possesses such a magnificent power over our speech, we have to look closely at the fascinating world of human biology and neurochemistry. For millions of years before human beings invented complex spoken languages with grammar rules and vocabulary words, our ancestors communicated entirely through physical gestures, facial expressions, and body postures. Because of this deep evolutionary history, our human brains are still hardwired to read and judge body language instantly and automatically, completely outside of our conscious awareness. When you interact with someone, their subconscious mind is analyzing your physical posture within the first few seconds of meeting you. If your body language screams anxiety and discomfort, the listener will naturally feel uneasy or lose interest in your words, no matter how beautiful your English vocabulary might be. But the most exciting discovery of modern science is that this communication channel is a two-way street. Your body language does not just express what is happening inside your mind. Your physical posture actually sends direct, powerful instructions to your brain, actively changing the chemicals that control your feelings. Let us look at a famous scientific concept known as power posing.
Research shows that when a human being chooses to stand in a high-power posture for just 2 short minutes, remarkable changes occur inside their bloodstream.
A high-power posture simply means opening up your body and taking up space, much like a proud runner crossing a finish line with their arms held high in the air, or a confident leader standing with their hands on their hips. When you hold a broad, open posture, your brain automatically increases your levels of testosterone, which is the exact hormone responsible for feelings of courage, confidence, and leadership. At the exact same moment, your brain significantly drops your levels of cortisol, which is the toxic hormone that causes stress, panic, and anxiety. This means that by simply changing the physical shape of your body in a conscious way, you can literally trick your internal chemistry into feeling calm, brave, and fully capable of handling a difficult English conversation under pressure. To master this physical advantage in your daily life, the very first thing you must focus on is your structural alignment and spinal posture. Whenever you feel nervous or unconfident during an English conversation, your body's natural defense mechanism is to curl inward to protect itself from danger. You automatically round your shoulders forward, drop your chin toward your chest, and try to make yourself look as small as possible. This closed posture compresses your lungs, prevents you from breathing deeply, and forces your voice to sound quiet, shaky, and restricted. The ultimate remedy for this habit is to deliberately roll your shoulders back and down, lift your chest proudly toward the sky, and keep your chin parallel to the ground. Imagine that there is an invisible golden thread attached to the very top of your head, gently pulling your entire spine upward toward the ceiling. When you stand or sit with this elongated, upright posture, you instantly open up your lungs, allowing your breath to flow smoothly and deeply, which naturally gives your vocal cords the air power they need to project a strong, resonant, and authoritative tone of voice. Now, take a brief moment to adjust your physical body right where you are listening to this audiobook. Roll your shoulders back, loosen your jaw, take a deep, comfortable breath, and realize how incredible it feels to occupy your space with pride. Investing your time in mastering your physical presence is a magnificent step toward a more powerful, successful future. If you love these practical, eye-opening strategies and want to ensure you stay inspired and consistent on your grand journey to self-improvement, please take a quick second to subscribe to Bookwaves Audio, hit that like button, and share this track with a friend who is also building their self-confidence. Your wonderful presence here makes our global community stronger every single day. Let us now jump right back into the secrets of confident body language. The second vital physical habit you must master to sound bold in English is the conscious use of open, expressive hand gestures. Many anxious language learners have a powerful tendency to freeze their hands completely when they speak a foreign language. They tightly lock their arms across their chest, clip their elbows tightly to their sides, or hide their hands deeply inside their pockets like a guilty child. This physical freezing sends a strong signal to your brain that you are under attack, which instantly triggers a wave of panic. It also makes your speech sound incredibly stiff, dry, and robotic because your physical movements are deeply connected to the natural flow of your words. When you watch the most charismatic, fluent speakers in the world, you will notice that their hands are always open, relaxed, and moving in perfect harmony with their thoughts. Use your hands naturally to emphasize important concepts, describe sizes, or point toward ideas. When your hands move freely, your brain naturally stops overthinking grammar rules, allowing your thoughts to translate into spoken English sentences with far more fluidity, speed, and creative energy. The third and most crucial element of physical confidence is the unshakable mastery of eye contact and facial expressions. Your eyes are the ultimate mirrors of your internal state of mind. When you constantly look away mid-sentence, glance nervously at the ceiling, or stare down at your shoes while talking to someone, you look like you are hiding something or like you are deeply afraid of the interaction.
To establish immediate trust, authority, and connection, you must look the other person directly in the eyes for at least 60 to 70% of the conversation. If looking directly into someone's pupils feels a bit too intense or uncomfortable for you at first, here is a brilliant psychological trick. Simply focus your gaze on the small space right between their eyebrows. The other person will perceive this as perfectly steady, confident eye contact, while you feel completely relaxed and secure.
Combine this steady gaze with a warm, gentle smile, which releases tension from your facial muscles and instantly makes your voice sound much more inviting, authentic, and pleasant to the listener's ear. You must also learn to control the physical pace of your head movements and greetings. When an anxious learner receives a question or enters a room, they often nod their head rapidly and frantically, trying to show that they understand and agree with everything. This fast, jerky movement looks highly submissive and anxious. True leaders move their heads slowly, deliberately, and with calm intent. When someone speaks to you, listen with a steady, measured head nod that shows true presence and deep comprehension. This simple slowing down of your physical gestures will instantly elevate your perceived social status and make your English words carry 10 times more weight, value, and respect in the ears of your listeners. As you step out into the real world today and begin your daily routine, remember that you are a powerful human being who completely controls the physical temple of their body. Do not wait until you feel perfect inside your head to start standing like a king or a queen. Start practicing the physical posture of a confident, fluent speaker right now, from this exact day forward. Open up your chest, pull your shoulders back, look the world straight in the eye, and let your hands paint the beautiful picture of your thoughts. When you change your posture, your inner chemistry will naturally change. Your fear will evaporate into thin air, and your English voice will ring out with absolute, unshakable, and bold confidence. Trust your body, embrace your physical power, and speak your beautiful mind to the world. Chapter 12. The Lifelong Journey. Keeping your skills sharp every single day. Imagine that you have spent several months working diligently with a master builder to construct a beautiful, magnificent, and strong brick house on a gorgeous plot of land. Together, you have poured a solid concrete foundation, built sturdy walls that can withstand any storm, and placed a beautiful protective roof over the top. The house is finally complete, and it looks absolutely breathtaking. But once the builder walks away and hands you the keys, does your job with the house completely end? Absolutely not. If you leave that beautiful house empty, never clean the floors, never repair the roof, and allow weeds and vines to grow wild over the walls, the structure will slowly but surely begin to decay and fall apart over the years. This exact same rule applies to your journey with the English language and your personal self-development. Building your confidence, mastering a core vocabulary, learning the art of the pause, and stepping out into real conversations are magnificent milestones that you have successfully achieved. But fluency is not a static destination that you arrive at once and then forget about for the rest of your life. Fluency is a living, breathing fitness skill, very much like building physical muscles at a gym. If you stop exercising your muscles, they will naturally become weak and disappear over time. To keep your communication skills sharp, beautiful, and effortless for the rest of your life, you must transform English from a stressful subject that you study into a permanent, enjoyable lifestyle habit that you live every single day. Welcome to the ultimate, crowning chapter of your transformation. Before we unlock the lifelong strategies to keep your mind sharp and your voice powerful forever, take a final moment to support our shared mission. If you want to continue feeding your mind with the absolute best guides for self-improvement, lifestyle design, and lifelong success,
Please subscribe to Bookwaves Audio right now and give this video a like so you can stay connected with our global family forever. Now, let us discover together how to master the lifelong journey of confident communication. To understand how to maintain your fluency forever without experiencing burnout or exhaustion, you must first change how you define the concept of learning in your mind. Many language learners view learning as a temporary, painful sprint. They think that they need to study intensely for a few months, pass a specific test, or finish a single book, and then they can completely stop and go back to their old habits. This temporary mindset is a dangerous trap because it creates a constant cycle of learning and forgetting, which leads to immense frustration. The secret to lifelong mastery is replacing the intensity of a short sprint with the beautiful consistency of a daily routine. You do not need to study English for 2 hours every day to keep your skills sharp. In fact, doing that will only make your brain tired and resentful.
Instead, you simply need to find small, effortless ways to weave the English language naturally into the fabric of the life you are already living every single day.
Let us look at how you can easily design an English-speaking lifestyle by changing your daily media consumption choices. Think about how many hours a day you spend scrolling through social media videos, reading articles on your internet browser, watching entertaining movies, or listening to music. If all of this media is in your native language, you are missing out on thousands of free, natural learning opportunities every single week. Start making a conscious choice to consume your favorite entertainment exclusively in English. If you love cooking, start watching cooking tutorials hosted by English-speaking chefs. If you love sports, listen to sports commentary and read match analysis written in English. If you love personal development, continue listening to inspiring audiobooks just like this one during your daily routines. When you align the English language with your existing passions, your brain completely forgets that it is practicing a skill. It simply focuses on the joy and excitement of the information, allowing you to absorb advanced phrases and natural rhythms completely automatically. Another magnificent and highly effective way to maintain your sharp edge is to build a permanent habit of daily self-reflection in English. Every single evening, right before you prepare to go to sleep, take just 3 minutes to sit quietly on your bed and review your day out loud to yourself using simple, clear English sentences.
You can talk about what tasks you successfully completed, what challenges you faced at work, how you felt during the day, and what you are grateful for experiencing. You can say to yourself, "Today was a very busy but productive day. I finished my important project at the office. I had a great lunch with my colleagues, and I feel very happy about my progress." This simple nightly ritual acts as a powerful software update for your brain. It ensures that your English neural pathways remain active, warm, and ready to go every single night, completely preventing your vocabulary from getting rusty or fading away due to lack of use. Now, take a deep, comfortable breath, relax your mind, and reflect on the incredible journey of self-improvement you have completed. You have dedicated your valuable time, energy, and attention to building a better version of yourself, and that is a truly magnificent achievement that deserves immense respect. If you have found deep value in these lessons and want to ensure you stay inspired, motivated, and surrounded by the best wisdom for personal growth, please take a quick second to subscribe to Bookwaves Audio. Hit that like button and leave a final comment below, sharing your biggest breakthrough from this audiobook. Your fantastic support keeps our hearts full and inspires us to keep creating these deeply detailed masterpieces for your daily routine. Let us now jump right back into the final strategies for lifelong language freedom. To ensure your lifelong success, you must also learn to look at your minor stumbles and bad days with a sense of calm perspective
and absolute emotional maturity.
As you continue down this path over the coming years, you will inevitably experience days when you feel a bit tired, stressed, or distracted. On those particular days, you might suddenly forget a simple vocabulary word during a meeting, or you might stumble over a basic sentence while talking to a friend. When this happens, it is absolutely vital that you do not allow your old fears and insecurities to slide back into your mind. Do not tell yourself that you have lost your fluency or that your hard work was wasted. Realize that a bad day is simply a natural part of being a normal human being, even for native speakers who make mistakes when they are exhausted. Simply smile, forgive your brain for being tired, take a deep breath, and remember that your ultimate value as a communicator is defined by your long-term consistency, not by a single awkward moment on a Tuesday afternoon. You can also keep your language skills incredibly sharp by stepping into the inspiring role of a guide or a teacher for others who are just beginning their learning journey. There is a famous psychological concept known as the protégé effect, which proves that the absolute fastest and deepest way to truly master any subject is to teach it to someone else. If you have a friend, a family member, or a co-worker who is currently struggling with their English confidence, share these practical lessons and mindsets with them. Help them practice their basic greetings, encourage them to stop fearing mistakes, and show them how to use the power of the pause. When you explain these strategies to another person, you are forcing your own mind to organize the information with absolute clarity, which permanently locks those concepts into your own subconscious memory banks. By helping someone else climb the mountain of success, you automatically elevate your own position to the absolute peak. As we reach the beautiful conclusion of this entire audiobook, look back at the person you were on day one, before you started this journey of transformation. You used to look at English as a scary, impossible obstacle covered in strict grammar rules and red ink. But today, you know the ultimate truth. You know that confidence is an internal choice that you can make right now. You know that mistakes are simply the physical steps that lead directly to mastery. You know that you possess a powerful core vocabulary, an unshakable physical posture, and a beautiful mind that can think directly in English without any painful translation. You have all the tools, all the strategies, and all the internal power required to speak English boldly, clearly, and charismatically in any situation on the face of the earth. As you step out into the world today and continue your magnificent life, walk with your head held high, your chest open, and an unshakable smile on your face. You are no longer a passive student trying to learn a foreign code. You are a confident, globally minded speaker whose unique voice deserves to be heard by the world. Trust your natural learning process. Protect your daily habits with pride. Stay deeply curious about the people you meet, and always remember that your grand journey to ultimate success is a continuous, beautiful adventure that belongs completely to you. Go out there, share your beautiful mind with absolute power, and speak your truth with unshakable and limitless confidence. Thank you for listening to this complete presentation brought to you by Bookwaves Audio. We truly appreciate your time, dedication, and your powerful commitment to lifelong self-improvement. If this audiobook has brought value to your life, inspired your journey, or shifted your perspective, please subscribe to our channel, give this video a like, and share your biggest breakthrough in the comments section below. Do not forget to share this wisdom with a friend or a loved one who is also working hard to build their success. Keep investing in your mind, stay consistent with your daily habits, and remember that you possess the ultimate power to design your own destiny. Until next time, keep growing, stay confident, and have a magnificent